Definitely we got the snow and wind tonight, but a lot of areas won't see it. If you're north of I-90 or kind of up west of I-94, not in the way of much snow you're probably going to see tonight or even tomorrow. You'll have clouds and a lot more wind than anything else, but that threat is further south. It's a very narrow band that's going to be impacting areas south of I-90 and stretching just east of the I-94-90 interchange. You can see winter weather advisories on the outlying area. The winter storm warning is that's for that narrow band of snow that potentially could get over 9, maybe even 10 inches in isolated areas, but it's very narrow just to our south, and snow amounts quickly drop off to really nothing as you go further north. So that's what we're looking at right now. The low is going to track right up towards just east of Milwaukee, so it puts us on the cold side of that system. As we look at right now, the conditions, not way much going on. A lot of this precipitation to the south is not quite reaching the ground. As we kind of zoom in there, you can see overall a little bit of light snow and rain. Given the temperatures are still quite warm, 40 degrees or 39, Yellow State Forest, it may be a little bit of a mix of rain and snow for some areas just further south before then it turns over to snow, but it will eventually. Big story is the low is taking shape right to the south, and that's going to push right up to the northeast, as I said, near Milwaukee as it deepens, and we'll see that wrap around that band set up just to the northwest of the low, puts us right overhead. So if we kind of time it out, I got the visibilities here overlaid too. As you see, overall, we'll sort of see snow really start to pile up or start to come down. By 10, I think Prairie du Chien just up to maybe the Crawford County, Vernon County line, we'll start seeing it that. It'll begin to pull back north. This is the time frame after midnight to about 3 is when it really starts getting visibilities could be down to a half mile or 1 at some times. But you can see darker shade sits over here. La Crosse is right on the edge, probably 1 to 3 miles visibility, meaning light snow. By the time we get to 4, it starts stretching closer to Eau Claire or Black River Falls, but you see the band begins to really narrow down. Snow continues for south of I-90, and then by the time we get to about 6 to 7 a.m., it drops off quite quickly. It starts falling apart, and more of this now is just light snow. As you see, visibility is 1 to 2 miles, which is generally just light snow amounts, not too much. It'll begin to kind of taper off. Flurries continue, but the wind will be the story going in the afternoon. We'll still have 15 to 20 mile per hour winds with gusts probably closer to 30 or even stronger at times. That could blow around or especially drift it as we go throughout the afternoon, but it should be quiet for the Friday evening commute, but still remaining cloudy. As mentioned, here's the snow amounts in that narrow little area. It could be 6 to 9, even more, but you go further north, it drops off quickly to really nothing. So that's what we're kind of dealing with. This may go back and forth a little bit, but overall I think it's pretty solid in what we're looking at. Travel impacts, if we kind of look at West Union, Prairie du Chien, Richland Center, you can see 4 a.m. is when the heaviest amounts, we could see 1+ inch per hour rate, maybe even more, and then kind of backs off. And roads likely will be wet, at least the main roads, as we go towards noon in the afternoon, because our temperatures are going to be closer to freezing. This is probably the worst place, really, that. If we go a little bit further north, Decorah to Viroqua to Tomah, it's still that same time frame, a little bit later, 4 to 6 a.m. The snow rate maybe not as quite intense because we're right on the edge, and then roads in the afternoon, mainly, especially the interstate roads and major highways, would likely be just wet as we go throughout. As I said, temperatures overall tomorrow hovering in the upper 20s, low 30s, so this is really favorable to have the roads get wet. Salt will definitely help, so the road condition won't be as bad as we expect in the afternoon as the morning, but that's what we're looking at right now. As we look to the weekend, it's a bigger story going on. We already saw that snow before. The weekend gets colder. We're looking at 20s, basically overnight lows in the teens to single digits. Could be a few snow showers going Saturday night into Sunday. Nothing will accumulate with that activity. And then we see more seasonal conditions for next week, and it gets a little bit more uncertain towards the end of the week because you saw that 47 pop up there again. So we could see a swing towards the next week. But really tonight, if you're south of I-90, it's going to get pretty bad. But the good news, it's mid to end of February, so that definitely helps road conditions with the daylight now being a little bit longer.